Now, from the Action 4 studios, Sports Director Clay Williams and Joe Bowling bring you the best in Valley High School football from the week past and for the week ahead. Highlights, analysis, and predictions from all across the Valley. It's time for Sunday Sports Extra.
Hello and welcome to Sunday Sports Extra. We are into the fourth round of the playoffs, and for the second year in a row, the Valley has a team in them. I want to welcome our guest this week, Joe Bowling, Action 4 sports reporter, and from the Valley Morning Star, Armando Garza. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Let's get right to it. What an incredible game last night. I can't even believe it. It woke up the ghost from Port Isabel in the games past, bringing back memories of 2003 last night when Port Isabel took on Geronimo Navarro. This game at Cal Allen Stadium, let's talk about that final drive. Okay, Navarro hits the field goal, goes up 28-0, and Port Isabel has to stage a 95-yard drive. They do so on the legs of Javier Vela. They do so on the legs of Isaiah Martinez, who goes and somehow gets the fourth down conversion right there and takes it down in deep into Navarro territory, and then getting the first down and then not stopping until getting into the end zone there. The big push puts Javier Vela into the end zone, but you've still got to make the two-point conversion, and Port Isabel does just that, coming back, scoring, making it 28-28 and sending this game into overtime. In overtime, Port Isabel with the ball first. Isaiah Martinez, once again, the big push by that incredible tidal wave offensive line. They get Isaiah Martinez in and makes it 35-28. Last chance for Navarro. It's no good. Fourth down, and they do not convert. Port Isabel wins it 35-28 in overtime. Afterwards, an ecstatic Port Isabel team and coach talked about making it into the fourth round and doing it this way.
Do or die. This might be our last drive, and hopefully it wasn't, and it wasn't. I have to thank my team, I got to thank the D making the stop, and then, credit to the whole team.
We were down and we needed to come back, and we're a second half team. We've always been a second half team since last year, and that's what pretty much helped us in the game.
It's just a great effort by the kids overall. The coaches did a great, the kids, I can't say enough about them. I mean, they never quit, they never panic, they just keep on fighting.
So that sets up the 3A Division II Region 4 Final. For a chance to be in the state Final Four, it is Port Isabel taking on Belleville. Both teams with the identical 10-3 records. This game will be 6 o'clock next Saturday, Cabinets Field, Corpus Christi. The winner of this game, whoo boy, look at that other Region 3, Navasota or West Orange start. But let's worry about Belleville. But before we worry about Belleville, let's talk about that incredible drive last night, Armando. What amazing, amazing drive it took. 4 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, and to get to that point, kudos to the PI defense. Navarro was driving down. They held him to the field goal to give themselves a chance, and that's all they could ask for. And then little by little, they started inching away. Vela breaks a big one. Stumble sticks with what they do. They get down there. I mean, I don't have enough adjectives to talk about it.
It was incredible. It was amazing. You had a lot of adjectives calling the game last night.
And it was just every time you think, well, what can happen next? They did it. And the drive, the poise. That's the word I'm going to use over and over and over. The poise in that drive and the way they move that ball down the field, and they're truly never gonna quit. We believe we're gonna win this football game, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, like you said, Armando, they wouldn't have been able to get that far without this big momentum shift that happened. They were down, 13-0 at one point. What happened in that second quarter to turn the tide, so to speak, for Port Isabel?
I think the seawall showed up. They punted to Navarro. They were deep in their own territory. They forced them to a 3-and-out. Before that, PI was a little deflated. You could tell with those two quick scores. They get that stop. They punt it to him. A couple plays later, Vela goes 55 yards, and we got a ball game.
Yeah, you'd have to talk about the defense when you talk about what Port Isabel was able to do yesterday. They made some adjustments, and from then on, Navarro did not have an easy time scoring, Joe.
Especially in the second half. In the first half, that sweep was hurting them badly, and I think Navarro set the tone early that they were going to go for it on fourth down from their own 34, and when they got that first down, it set the defense back, and by the time they were down 13-0, and they made that adjustment in that drive, and in the second half, just enough adjustments to get some stops, some critical stops, and then hold that to the field goal. That, again, is the biggest part that set that up. You give up points there, or you let them take the rest of the time off the clock, it's over. Defense makes a stand outside the 20-yard line, which it may get lost in the shuffle, but that was the key to getting them a chance to win this game.
All right, let's talk about the Tarpons' next opponent. It is the Belleville Brahmas, or Brahmas, depending upon what part of Texas you might be from. They destroyed Orange Grove last night. Now, to be fair, an Orange Grove team that was out without their starting quarterback for most of the game. Ruben Lopez had an ACL tear, tried to do it but couldn't do it. This Belleville team is all about the interception. 26 interceptions in 13 games. They had 5 last night against Orange Grove. Meanwhile, on the offense, they like to run the slot T. They've got a quarterback named Kyle Fuchs. He likes to throw it to a running back out of the backfield named DeBray Parker. That's Parker right there. This team, they're tough. They're from Central Texas. They're north of Brenham, south of Navasota. They know how to play football there, Armando. What will the Seawall defense have to do to stop a slot T offense like one that they used to run several years ago?
And a slot T offense that can pass, you know, and that's the key, you know, and Port Isabel's going to have to really key on everything, the run and the pass. So this week they kind of knew what was coming, mostly run. Now they're going to prepare for both, so it's going to be a challenge for them.
Giat and company are going to have to bring the heat, and they're going to have to take that quarterback passing the ball out of the mix. If you can do that, if you can get it down to where it's our running game against your running game, I like their chances. But it's got to happen with the front line, getting some pressure on the quarterback, containing him. Don't give him time to throw that ball deep to that running back out of that. Take some time to get a running back out of the backfield, downfield. Don't give him that time.
All right, and Belleville in the same district as El Campo, and of course El Campo number 4 in the state. But we will talk more about Port Isabel coming up on Sunday Sports Extra. But up next, we're going to talk about the 5A teams that played this weekend, including Edinburgh North, who found themselves on the end of a learning experience like no other, taking on the top defense in the state of Texas. And of course, Sharyland. They finished up on Friday night. What's next for the Rattlers? What's next for Trace Barrera besides baseball? We'll talk about it when we come back on Sunday Sports Extra.